I'm Dr. Manjubala Das, working as a professor in nursing in Government of Puducherry, and I have 25 years of teaching experience in nursing, also research experience. But I'm a national trainer in infant young child feeding and lactation management course, which I have got the training from Breastfeeding Promotion Network of India, New Delhi, and really it's a good course to say. However, I have done my PG and PhD in obstetric gynecological nursing. Still, then I felt it was inadequate without this breastfeeding education and training, especially. And from that day onwards, I am just continuing. Every year, we are giving training to the nurses and doctors, and also our government has recognized this training, and as I have also sponsored through government for this training, so they have recognized and they have utilized my strength for training to the doctors and nurses in our government hospital. So every year we used to do that thing. So that is very much essential part of today, to say again in this COVID era where the mothers are in dilemma to give breastfeeding or not to give breastfeeding. So where this counseling part plays a important role than any other things.
So it's very nice to have you with us, Dr. Manjubala Das. Counseling is a very integral part of the breastfeeding process. What does counseling in breastfeeding really mean?
Actually, in breastfeeding, to say counseling part is the main. Breastfeeding is a traditional practice. So what we feel like all mother they know. Very important is like breastfeeding technique, the latching part, which many of the even the doctors they do not know, because I have seen I have some mothers like they are doctors, they are even gynecologists, but they do not know sometimes how to feed the baby, and that's where they come across some problem where they are really sometimes what happen, they are asking or sometimes they are not asking, they are thinking that it's normal, they think that it is normal, but we being a health personnel, being a counselor, our role to identify what they are doing and how they are doing. So it is a very important part of a counselor. Each mother of the first day, soon after, it is not that counseling started after delivery of the baby. The counseling is the part started from prenatal period. The mother, when during the period, time of pregnancy, no, it is very much essential to counsel a mother to say regarding importance of breastfeeding. First of all, to understand what they like, what is their perception towards breastfeeding, so that we can strengthen their idea. Then once they come across throughout the antenatal period, then to the labor. So during the labor, it is very much essential to initiate the breastfeeding. And even the government of India nowadays, they have started the breastfeed technique where they are going to start the breastfeeding immediately. They are not going to say that I will not start the breastfeeding and I'm not going to give breastfeeding to my baby. And another important thing is that the baby will get early initiation. As there is thing no, like the baby is very alert in the first 1 hour period and very active also. So once you put the baby over the mother's abdomen, soon after delivery, even before the separation of the cord and placenta, so the baby can crawl and reach to the breast. Why they can reach to the breast? Because the amniotic fluid smell where the baby was inside to the amniotic cavity, no, that smell is similar to the smell of the areola and also the baby once open to the eye can visible to the dark color of the areola, so the baby can crawl and reach to the breast and there will be salivation, then the baby try to latch. So that is a really joyous moment for the mother, how the mother can feel her own baby once the first latching, and these things can be possible only by counseling, because sometimes what happen in my observation, I can say I'm not blaming any health personnel, but it is a true fact. Both the side there is lacuna, there is a gap, Like health personnel, they feel that it is overcrowded. The hospital is overcrowded and there are less number of staff. So they are not able to attend to each mother. They are not able to do the breast crawl for each mother. That's what they are feeling. And sometimes from the mother's part also, as they do not know the breast crawl, importance of breast crawl or the latching, initiation of breastfeeding as early as possible, soon after delivery, those part is lacking from the mother side. If they are aware, they can also ask and they can also support to the staff because once the baby put to the breast, no, they can hold. Because when they will do breast curl, when the mother and baby condition both are stable, then only we will go for the breast curl. So when both are stable, baby can crawl and mother can hold the baby on the chest. So that support if the mother is doing, it will be not burden for the staff to put the baby. What the staff is feeling, if the mother is not holding to the baby, no baby may fall down and it will be responsibility of the staff. So that's what their fear and that's what they are not able to put the baby in the over the chest of the mother. So this is a mutual understanding. This will come only once we counsel throughout the antenatal period. And once to say, once we initiate the breastfeeding in the labor room, thereby there is no inhibitions from the mother side. They will not say that I have no milk, which is the common complaint from each mother. I don't have milk, how I will give to my baby. So this is the thing will not be there if we initiate breastfeeding. And also early initiation saves life of the baby. Even the research study statistics says that if you early initiate the breastfeeding of the baby, that saves life better than when you start initiating after 24 hours. So it is very much important again initiation of breastfeeding where the counselor part is very much important to counsel each mother throughout the antenatal period, importance of breastfeeding and the role of the mother and the breast crawl, early initiation, all those things plays a role.
Ma'am, we would want to know from you, how do you identify the problems in the breastfeeding, starting from the pregnancy to the postnatal period?
Breastfeeding issues like every time it is there, the mother is facing breastfeeding issues like breastfeeding difficulties to say. Sometimes during pregnancy they are not able to say because they are not knowing, they are thinking it's normal. Example to say the breast conditions, the size of the breast, sometimes the mother is thinking if I'm having small size so I may not have more secretion, or they are not asking to anybody, even to the doctor or to the nurses or to the counselor. They are not asking that thing. So it is our role that we have to identify by examining. When the mother is coming to the visit or antenatal checkup, then we have to at least once examine the breast of the mother, the identify the condition, how it is, whether the size, if small then we can counsel because we know the size is doesn't matter, so we can counsel to the mother. Then we have to think, see the nipple condition, whether it is flat nipple, inverted nipple. So those are the things we can say. Then other things like after delivery, during the time of delivery, again the mother, if they are not aware, then they are not going for early initiation. They delay to start the breastfeeding. So that part also we can identify being a health personnel or being a counselor or lactation counselor. And further to say during postnatal period, very much important thing, every mother feels that when you say that you feed your baby, na, they say that I don't have milk. How I will feed my baby? So that is the thing again. We can identify being a counselor, being a health personnel, our role, whether the mother has started the feeding or not. If not started, why they have not started? What the problem they are facing? So in various stages, like starting from the pregnancy, till the postnatal period, every stage, every step, the counselor role is there to identify what the mother is facing problem, why they are not continuing feeding. So there we can intervene and we can help them in that particular part so that the exclusive breastfeeding can be continued.
So now we have got to know from Madam what are the things which goes under counseling. We would also like to know from you what are the skills one need to develop in order to do a good counseling.
Yeah, very good question what you have asked. Counseling skills, it's a very important thing today because the government is having the target that we should have, all mothers should, that means 100% exclusive breastfeeding, no excuse. But here what we are facing the problem being a health personnel, we are saying that we are overloaded and we don't have time to give individual talk to a mother, because this counseling is the thing where we have to give individually and each mother require this counseling. And we are thinking that like mother, breastfeeding is a traditional practice, so every mother they know themselves, but it is not that thing. It's the perception what we are having, it is not as such correct, because every mother is facing the problem. I have seen in my practice in hospital, when we go for the rounds, no, I have seen each mother, either they are primary first mother or they are multi, that means having child previously, still then they are not doing the breastfeeding technique correctly. So where we require, that means they require our help. That's called counseling, and counseling is not the thing just you tell them what is what. There are some particular skills which require to counsel a mother. Now every health personnel, if you ask, they are saying yes, I am telling to the mother, but they are not listening. So why they are not listening? Because there are some particular skills one must follow while we are counseling to a mother. Like basically there are two skills are there. One is called as learning listening skill, and another one part is called building confidence skill. This learning listening skill is what, in that again there are like uh, there are some non-verbal communication skills. So we cannot say to a mother when we counsel non-verbal communication skill, but we being a health person we should follow those things. Like those are the things, what are the non-verbal, like we know na, when the mother is coming to us or somebody is coming to us, we just greet the mother, say hello, how are you? Once you are going for a daily rounds to visit to a mother in the hospital, no, nearby to the bed you can go. Not that in your seat you just say how are you. You just go near to the mother and greet them. Hello, how are you? So that gives a feeling to the mother, the own feeling. That means the doctor is coming to me and asking, or the counselor is coming to me and asking. So that own feeling, or what to say, like there the closeness started there. So the mother will trust you. So the feeling of trust is very much important in counseling. And when you greet the mother, always you just see that the you are maintaining to their level. That means if the mother is sitting, you are standing, it's okay. But when the mother is lying down, you just put a stool or chair near the bedside and sit so that you can maintain to the level and the mother can see you appropriately. Otherwise, they may be just making the head lifting like that, and sometimes it is not a good posture. So the mother will feel comfortable. That's what I like to say here. You maintain the comfort of the mother first. Make the mother comfortable to their position so that they will ask you further or they will tell you further what they feel actually the difficulty. So that is very important. First, most important thing in your counseling is you greet the mother, sit along with them, maintain your level along with their level, where they are sitting or they are lying down. Then also while you are talking, no, have the eye contact. That means you should see to the mother's eye. Don't look this side or that side and talking. That don't give them confidence. That's what is very much important. Whenever we talk with somebody, we should at least that means see to their eyes and talk. So that gives another part of the counseling confidence to the mother. Okay, you are there for the mother. So that part is another important skill what every health personnel, being a health personnel, we need to maintain. And another important thing to say, if like you are bringing, like mother is visiting to you to your clinic, but I have told you now, if you are visiting to a mother bedside, you will do this thing like you will put a stool or chair, sit together, discuss, greet the mother, hello, how are you, like that. But once the mother is coming to your clinic for visit, what you do? Just greet the mother, call them to come inside, give them sit, chair or stool, something to sit first. Let them sit comfortably. Then you can start your discussion. So that is the way how we can start counseling, start the session. And this is where we can develop the rapport, IPR, interpersonal relationship, which is very much important again, both for the counselor as well as for the mother. And as I told you, you should have the eye contact. See the mother's eye while you are talking. Don't see this side or that side. And another important thing is that maintain appropriate distance. That means, as I told you, put the chair or give the stool to a mother to sit. It's not that so much distance you will maintain. So you cannot hear each other again. What you are saying, the mother may not able to hear, and what the mother is saying, you cannot hear. So you must maintain a appropriate distance. As we are saying nowadays, we must maintain the minimum 1 meter distance. So that must be there. You should not be very close so that the mother will feel discomfort. And you should not be so away from the mother. You cannot hear something, and the mother also will not feel to tell you something. So that should not be there. And another thing is that there must be barrier free. That means you should give time to them to talk. So being a counselor, important role is that we should be good listener and we allow the mother to talk more. You should be good listener. That means just listen from the mother and allow the mother to talk. But how the mother can talk? You should stimulate, ask something to them so they will talk. But how that asking should be there? It should be like open question. You should think that you should ask something such a way that the mother can tell all the story to you, what they are finding the difficulty. Example to say, you can ask just a question, how you feel. If you ask them, do you feel better? Then their answer will come yes or no. Yes, I feel better, or no, I feel better. But when you ask how you feel, sometimes as you have started already IPR, sitting with the mother, then you have greeted her, you have asked her name, everything that how when the delivery occurs. So we have created a rapport. So the boundary is gone. The barrier is gone between the mother and counselor. Next, you are asking how you feel, no? Naturally, the mother, if having some difficulty, they will ventilate you. They will tell it out. So that is important. How you feel. That one question will give everything to the mother, and the mother will tell you. Like either they are finding difficulties during breastfeeding, or the baby is crying. All those things in that they will say. Either they are feeling good, or they are not able to sleep last night. Why they are not able to sleep? So that one question, how you feel, will give everything. This is called as like open question. You are giving them chance to answer. If you ask, yes or no question, that become a closed question. Have you fed your baby? Yes, I fed my baby now. So that become a like close question, yes or no, where you will get, being a counselor, you will get very less information. But being a counselor, what you need to get? You need to get as much as information from the mother, so that you can able to elicit, you can able to point out what difficulties they are having without their saying also, so that you can help them out. That's what the counselor role. So you can ask, how is your feeding going on? How is your feeding going on? If you ask that one question again, will give you lots of information. Like either they are feeling pain during feeding to the baby, whether the baby is not taking feed, whether they are not having enough milk. They will say sometimes like, I am pressing but milk is not coming in. All those things you will able to find out in one question. How is your feeding going on? So this is like open question. So I have told two skill now to you. One is the non-verbal communication, where you will greet the mother, you are making the level with them, you are maintaining appropriate distance, you are maintaining appropriate touch. Because no mother like directly touching to their breast, though they are having problem. You can touch to the baby, or you can ask them, can I see how you are feeding? So that permission, with the when they will feel to like close, no, they will show you how they are feeding to the baby. And breastfeeding is the important thing. You will not understand unless otherwise you are not observing the breastfeeding. So counseling is the not the thing only just to ask and just come off. By counseling, when you are asking open question, na, the mother will tell you there if they face some difficulty, like you have asked, how is your feeding going on? In that question, they will tell you how the feeding going on, whether they are finding any difficulty, whether they are having pain, whether the baby is crying, the baby is not taking to breast, that means latching problem. All those things they will ventilate you. And once they will tell you, you pick up what is the problem. Based on that further, you can go and ask them, may I help you? This is the again counselor role, where you can help the mother. So here you can show the appropriate gesture. That means your face should be something smiling face or appealing face to the mother, so that the mother will feel like again you are for them. That closeness will be there by seeing your face itself. Like all of you know, na, sometimes some doctors we say by seeing the face itself, half of the things, that means the pain is going. So that is the thing, being a counselor, your face should be appealing to the mother. So appropriate gesture to be there. You should show that you are for them. You are here to help them. Whenever they face the difficulty, you are there to help them. That feeling the mother should get, not that you should say. If they get the feeling, naturally they will tell you. And next skill is that like give time to listen. As I told you, being a counselor, no, you should good listener. We being a counselor, we give time. The mother should talk more, get information more from the mother. So you should not see the time. If you see the time, what will happen? The mother will think that, okay, you are maybe hurry, or you have some urgent work, you like to go. So they may not tell you sometimes. So give time to them, listen to them. So that is another skill. Always don't hurry, don't keep writing while you are asking something. No, don't keep writing. So that gives confused to the mother while you are writing the information. That give doubt to the mother why you are asking them and writing. So don't have some barrier between you and the mother, who think that they will feel that something you need from them so that you are asking. Instead of that, they should think that you are for them, so that only they can tell everything. So this is very much important part of our learning listening skill. And another thing is that being a counselor, no, when the mother is telling that they are having pain, as you have asked them how is your feeding going on, if they feel pain, they will tell you that they are having pain. So what is our role there? We cannot say that okay, pain is there for everybody, it is normal. Instead of that, we should show that empathetic feeling. Empathetic feeling is that we should put ourselves on their situation. Oh, I understand how you feel the pain. This is the thing we can say empathy. So we should put as if the pain is to me, to the counselor. That way we should put the things so that the mother really understand you. You can say, oh, I understand. You have so much pain. Still then you are continuing feeding. So this is the way how we can talk to a mother when the mother is having pain. Then also you can, instead of, if you do not know how to empathize, even just simple things we can say what the mother is saying. That's called reflect back. This skill is called reflect back. Like whatever the mother is saying, you just say to them. The mother is saying, I feel pain during feeding to my baby. Oh, you feel pain? So this called reflect back. That also gives empathize. You are understanding their feeling. Sometimes they will say, like we will ask sometimes when you started breastfeeding for the baby after delivery. Yes, they may say, no, I have started early. In labor room itself, the staff has told me to start, so I have started. Sometimes they will say, no, I have started little late because my mother-in-law has told me the first ritual to give honey, so don't give breast milk. So now you have catch the point. Mother-in-law told to her to give honey. So that is the prelacteal again. Here the mother is do not know, don't give prelacteal. But being a counselor, with her talk you can catch the point. And also you have catch the point that mother-in-law has instructed. So immediately we cannot say no, why we have given. We cannot say to the mother, being a counselor, the skill we have to apply here is that, oh, your mother-in-law told, so that become a reflect back. And we know that prelacteal should not be given, being a health personnel, being a counselor, but we cannot say immediately, we cannot reject the view of the mother immediately in our first part. So further the mother will not have chance to listen to you, or you don't get the chance to correct the mother's feeling. So better always we should apply our skills in step by step so that we will not misguide the mother or we will not lose a mother to correct. So that is the thing is called reflect back. Once the mother is saying to you, you can tell the same thing, repeat the same thing what the mother told. That's called reflect back. Also it become a empathize for the mother. Oh, your mother-in-law said, oh, you feel pain during feeding. So this type of things gives again for the leading question to the mother. The mother will say, yes, my mother-in-law told. Though I told, staff told me only give breast milk, but my mother-in-law insisted me, no, you have to start honey, then only give breastfeeding. So this information you can get from the mother. This is the skill where the counselor is required. Because every time we cannot just collect. Some one question itself should give all the information from the mother. So that is the thing where the counselor plays a role again. Then very important thing is that do not use any judgmental word. So what is a judgmental word? No, like leading things. The mother will not tell you, but we will, being a counselor with our over enthusiasm, we will do sometimes mistake. Like many of the time, it's very what to say, in normal practice, no, even nurses or doctors or the counselors, we usually do this mistake. We use like whether your baby fed normally, do you have enough breast milk? This is the thing we ask. So this is the thing leading question. The mother is not thinking what is enough. Before you ask the mother, they are not knowing what is the enough milk or not enough milk. Whatever the milk is coming, they thought it is normal. But when you are asking them, is your milk is enough? Your baby is sleeping good? Whether the baby is sleeping yesterday, whether your baby slept good, or you are asking your baby is taking enough milk. So this enough, good, normal, this all the things, no, which gives the mother to think. They will not ask you, but they will think, what is this normal milk secretion? What is this good sleep of the baby? How much time my baby should sleep? Then only it will be good sleep. So this or how much milk secretion for me should be there. So it will be enough milk secretion. So unnecessarily we are giving doubting confusion to the mother's mind with our conversation. So as much as possible, being a health personnel, when we converse with the mother, better we should avoid the judgmental words. So we should choose the word while we are talking. That's what whenever we allow the mother to talk and we talk less to being a counselor, we can avoid this type of word. And in practice, in our regular practice, when we are conscious not to use this type of leading words, which will confuse the mother unnecessarily by our talk, by our conversation, by our asking things, we like to avoid. So this all regarding our learning listening part, what is very much essential part for a counselor to initiate counseling. As I told you, greet the mother, maintain appropriate distance, maintain appropriate touch, have eye contact, see to the eyes of the mother while you are talking or while you are asking question, ask always open type of question. Don't ask like a yes or no question. By open question, you will get more of information from the mother. Then empathize always. Put their condition to you and also reflect back whatever the mother says. You said repeat the same thing, so it's reflect back. By that, you are getting more information from the mother and avoid the judgmental words. So by this, we can start or initiate the counseling.
I hope all the viewers are equally excited as me or as Dr. Manju, and we all need to be a part of this counseling. It should be our pleasure to counsel a mother, to empathize with the mother, to build that skill. In India, a huge number of babies right from the birth are facing diarrhea problem, especially after 6 months of breastfeeding when they are starting complementary feeding. Usually, babies have a lot of diarrhea problem. In a situation like that, how do you counsel that mother? Can you please explain the viewers?
So here, you should accept the feeling of the mother because that is the mother's feeling. They think that diarrhea, when it is there, I should not feed the baby. But we understand breast milk is very much important, but immediately we cannot force, no, no, you should feed the baby. What we can do in a counseling skill, oh, better, it is very good that you have asked me, you can continue breastfeeding or not, and your baby is having diarrhea. That is the first thing you have accepted. Second thing, you have recognized, okay, you are still continuing feeding, you have not stopped without asking me. So that is a good thing they are doing. You just praise them, boost their confidence. Then what is the practical help is necessary now? The mother should feed frequently to the baby so the baby will not go for dehydration. So that is the practical help. Then you need to say in their simple language to their understand level also relevant information. How we can say them? We can say them breastfeeding will help the baby during this period of diarrhea. Also we can say if you continue breastfeeding, the baby will recover soon from the diarrhea. This is the relevant information. What is needed for the mother now? So you can say that if you continue breastfeeding, baby can recover soon from diarrhea. Also in your simple language you get to frequent feeding to the baby. As many times the baby is passing diarrhea, that many times you feed the baby. How many times the baby is passing motion, that many times you can feed the baby. Your motto is that baby should not go for dehydration. But dehydration is the term is technical term. You should not use for them. So simple language what we can say, how many times the baby is passing motion or diarrhea, that many times you feed the baby. It's the relevant information, also simple language, and the mother understood you, and our motto also achieved. If the mother fed the baby, baby is not gone for dehydration. So this is the way the counselor must understand how to build the confidence, and mother should listen to you and follow you. If the mother will not develop the confidence on you, they will not follow what you are saying. So that with so much things with our effort we are saying, but the mother is not listening, then there is no use of counseling. Today that is the gap in society, in mother to health personnel. Where everybody, if you ask to the A&M, they say I have given health education to the mother. If you ask to the nurse, they say yes, I have given health education. The mother is not listening. Why they are not listening? There is a gap. What is the gap? The counseling skill gap. Each one of us, we must understand this is a skill. How you can reach to the mother. How you can go to the mother's level so they will listen to you. If you say, being a counselor, that they are not listening to you, then it is your failure. Every mother don't require counseling. Those difficult mothers are very rigid to breastfeeding, they require your counseling. So that is your success. When you counsel to a rigid mother or difficult mother who is not understanding the value of the breastfeeding. And one mother, if you counsel and continue breastfeeding, that is where you succeed. What, okay, so many mother is there, how I can counsel? It is not possible. You just target one mother a day, that is enough for us. You can counsel many. That mother, when they understand, they will share their information. That's called peer counseling again. You can utilize that mother to others. You can develop a peer group counseling, mothers group, where you can utilize that mother. When peer counseling is there, other mother will catch easily. When one mother is saying to the another mother. The thing is that we must understand, being a health personnel, we must follow and understand these counseling skills step by step also. Step by step counseling skills. And these counseling skills will not come overnight. We all need to be practiced in our day-to-day life. Day-to-day visit to the mother. It should in continuous practice. Then only we can adapt to these skills. And we can also practice in a better way, and so that we can counsel every mother. Like as WHO once the theme told, every mother is a count. For us, the same thing. Every breastfeeding mother is count for us. No single mother should face difficulty. No single mother should left without counseling. So these are the counseling skills need to be get by all the health personnel.
Great to know a brief of a day in your life. As we see, a lot of our viewers are really getting excited in getting their jobs as counselors. So can you please give a guidance to those viewers, as in how can they apply for this job? How can they land up in this job? What are the prerequisites they need? What kind of studies do they need to be there? How long are the courses, and what are the different courses available in India?
As all of you know, now, this government of India, they have started Lakshya program. Also, before that, in 2016, they have started MA program, Mother's Absolute Affection program. So this program, actually, government of India also recognized this value of breastfeeding early initiation, so they have started. And in that, what they have insisted, all the health personnel, doctors, nurses, they must undergo training under this MA program. So in that, what they are doing, like 7 days program is there, where they can be a counselor, lactation counselor. Also, there are a 3 days program. They can be like middle level counselor, and national trainer course is available in Breastfeeding Promotion Network of India, Delhi, where they are also conducting this 3 days middle level course and 7 days IYCF counselor course, that is infant, young child feeding and lactation management program, which is 7 days course for them. So one person, either for doctor or nurses, they undergo this training. No, they can be a lactation counselor or lactation consultant, we can say. And it is very much important today. Every maternity hospital must appoint a counselor. As we have seen, doctors are overloaded, nurses are overloaded, so the counseling part is not happening in regular practice. So if they appoint a counselor in each hospital, they can do in a better way. So to build a counselor, every person need to undergo this special training, because the special skills which can be incorporated, they can learn once they undergo this training. So the training can be given through Breastfeeding Promotion Network of India in our India. It is head office is in Delhi, but in various parts of the country we are conducting. We are the, like me, there are other national trainers also available in India. Like I am from Pondicherry, I used to conduct always this 7 days course for the doctors and nurses who are becoming a counselor, and it is a great help for the mothers to counsel or to continue feeding exclusively. Our counselors are doing great things. Like recently, I have got one information from one of our counselor, like the mother who has gone for adoption of the baby. Like all of us, we know the baby, we are delivering our own baby, we are feeding to the baby. But the mother who is going for adopting to a child also can breastfeed to the child. So that was done by our one counselor in Chennai. So it was really amazing, the things. It's only the part of counseling which made success in case of adoption mother. So you can understand how much the value of this counseling plays a role to build the confidence among the mother towards breastfeeding, continuity of the breastfeeding and successful of the breastfeeding. So in my view, I like to say, being a doctor also they do not know, because counseling is the special skill which is not there in the curriculum while they are studying, either in MBBS curriculum or in the nursing curriculum. So every health personnel should undergo, must undergo this course for the counseling. They can learn that counseling. Counseling is not only help them to counsel to the mother, even these counseling skills are helping us in our day-to-day life, how we can lead our life. If you understand ourselves, we like for our children we can apply, for our husband wife relationship we can apply. So everywhere this counseling part is that much valuable, where we can have a better understanding. The confidence will be developed among your children. When you say the child is not studying, the confidence is low. Once you praise them, oh, you have done well, whatever, like out of 5 subjects, if one subject they get good mark, na, you praise them. That way they will boost their confidence. Further, you can give practical help. If they are weak some subject, give them tuition something, that is the practical help. So relevant information. If they do good in this time, then the future will be good that way. So everywhere the counseling skill is required. The counseling training is very much essential in everybody's life, especially as we are dealing with the breastfeeding mother. Being a health personnel, all of us we should undergo this special training. Then only we can be a good counselor. The example to say one pediatrician specialist can see a child and MBBS doctor to see the pediatric child, difference is there. That's what we are undergoing this specialization. MCH, DM, all this specialization is there. So once we are undergoing a specialized skill, that gives a different value. That counseling skill is totally different once we are not going that training and counseling. So that part is there. These skills are nowhere taught, no syllabus taught, unless otherwise we are going this special counseling course. So each health personnel must undergo this thing so that we can reduce the gap between the mother and health personnel. And to continue exclusive breastfeeding, successful breastfeeding, counseling part is very much essential.
Ma'am has gone through a day in her life and also has shown what goes behind counseling mother, and also you have seen how to get a certified course in counseling and how to advance your career in counseling. So now we are coming towards the end of this session. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us. I think the excitement you infill in us and the viewers will stay for a long time, and we are very delighted to hear from you the nooks and corners which goes behind counseling.
Yeah, really, I'm very happy that you have given this opportunity. I thank to Madam Dr. Rupal, who has really connected to me this breastfeeding world. I like to thank all the what to say stalwarts in our breastfeeding field who made me as a counselor today. So really, it is. I feel very much satisfied. Once you counsel to a mother and the mother succeed to breastfeeding, it's nothing else like happiness in the life. So that way I like to thank to all, and now I like to thank you and your department who has connected, and this message you are showing to many, and you are making the things as a wider publicity, and like I am sitting Pondicherry, but things can reach to all, and the good information need to be reached. That's what my view. Many mothers would get benefited by this counseling, and many health personnel especially must understand the value of counseling. They should not undermine. Counseling is nothing. Counseling is everything in breastfeeding. If you know good counseling, how to talk, how to convince a mother, there plays a role. That's called like a magic band. Counseling is called like a magic band for successful breastfeeding. So thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Ark, who has made this session so wonderful, lively. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure, ma'am. And thank you so much from Sitara IITB Nutrition Group.
Thank you so much.